Well, thank you very much, Fern, and it's really nice to see everybody here for this special event. And I want to extend a special thanks to Hai Wei, who has been the dynamo behind a lot of these events, and Mike DeBricius and Fern and others who've been involved with talking to Minglu about his archive and organizing today's events. So I'm just going to say a few words about our experience with Minglu and the significance that we very strongly attached to his work and to his life here at the university. First of all, we were very glad in 2005 when we could spirit Minglu away from SUNY Buffalo. I'm sure they weren't happy about that, but we picked him up, and he was at that time teaching and curating at that university, and came to join us. And given his extraordinary biography and achievements, we knew that his presence here would wonderfully contribute to the strengths of our East Asian program, and also to help us build a contemporary art program as well with Terry Smith, and also to build on the growing interest in our department in curatorial study. So he has been a major component of that ever since 2005. And in that capacity, he has inspired numerous undergraduates. He teaches courses in our department once a year to undergraduate students, and very often shepherds them through exhibitions in our gallery. And he has also managed to attract very wonderful graduate students to our program, including Madeline Eschenberg, Li Weidong, and Yijing Wang, who's here today. And there are more on their way next year. So he is building up our program in interesting and exciting ways. We knew we were getting somebody very special when Minglu came to work with us based on his outstanding achievements in the curatorial realm. And of course, this begins with his rather controversial show, as I'm sure most of you are aware, in 1989, his China Avant-Garde show at the National Museum of Art that was censored, and that also took place, of course, against the backdrop of the Tiananmen Square events. So this was a really foundational kind of moment in the history of contemporary Chinese art, and Minglu was very much at the center of it. This exhibition included some 186 artists and had over 300 works of art included in it. And he went on to curate a number of other landmark shows, and I'll just mention a few of these. One was the Inside Out show, New Chinese Art, that was organized by the Asia Society and went on view at the San Francisco Museum of Modern Art in 1998. And he also was responsible for curating the Chinese section of Conceptual Art Points of Origin, 1950s to 80s, that took place at the Queens Museum in New York in 1999. And I could go on and on. There's a very, very long list of important exhibitions that Minglu has curated both in this country and in China. But he's also distinguished in our field for actually defining a field. And this is highly unusual to run across somebody like this, where Minglu has actually been able to sort of set the terms of what contemporary Chinese art is. And he has done this not only through his curatorial work, but also through his publishing. And again, to just run through some of the very important titles that have been produced by Minglu, Total Modernity and the Avant-Garde in 20th Century Chinese Art, which came out in 2011, The Wall, Reshaping Contemporary Chinese Art in 2005, and Chinese Maximalism that appeared in 2003. And I know from reading his annual reports that he is also poised to publish, I think it's about 4 more books in the next year. And these cover the range of contemporary art studies in China, but also books on theory and methodology of interpretation. So these are highly anticipated volumes that'll be forthcoming soon. Most recently, Minglu gave me this wonderful catalog that was curated by a former student of his and somebody who worked as an assistant to Minglu. And it's an exhibition of Minglu's art entitled The Lonely Horizon, Gao Minglu during the 1970s. And this is a really wonderful kind of document because it is a kind of catalog of Minglu's experiences when he lived in Inner Mongolia during the Cultural Revolution, where he lived with the peasantry and he herded cattle and so forth. But he also began to draw. So there are these wonderful drawings, watercolors, and paintings that emerged from Minglu during this period. And he went on to teach art during that time and progressed through various institutions where he was teaching art, but also learning art history, developing his reputation as an art critic, receiving several advanced degrees, ultimately culminating in his PhD, which he got from Harvard in the year 2000. And in 2014, and this is kind of the backdrop for me of this series of exhibitions and events going on here, he curated an exhibition in our gallery entitled Chinese Video Art and Documentation, 1985 to 2005. And this was material out of Minglu's archive, and I hope that you all had a chance to see it because it was astonishing. And that's when Hai Wei became involved, and Mike DeBricius and Minglu, and talking about the value of Minglu's archive and the kind of knowledges that he could share with us through that archive here at the university. So we're very, very pleased to have this exhibition going on downstairs and to have this event being held in connection with that very important source. So I just want to thank Minglu for everything that he has done and everything that I'm sure he will do for us, and helping us to put the University of Pittsburgh on the map as a center for contemporary Chinese art studies. So thank you.